A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Sports Tonight. This is the Monday night edition of the show. This is the first edition of Sports Tonight for the new week, and we're happy to have you join us on this edition of Sports Tonight. My name is Tony Bitoye. I want to start the show up tonight by saying thank you to you for joining us, and also promise you that this show will last 50 minutes. And for the 50 minutes, we will make every minute worth your while. I'm not alone. Let me introduce to you my partners. We're starting off the show together, and they will be with me for most of the show. Although along the way, we'll bring in some very important guests. They will be joining us because we have a full house today. Let me start with Toby Adepoju. Yeah. Toby is on the show. Toby, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
It's my pleasure.
It was a very eventful weekend, from the nationwide Super 8 to the final day of Division 2B of the Nigerian National League. A lot of drama.
And also the Super Eagles, team list.
Came out during the week. Sneaked out. The list sneaked out during.
Looks very interesting.
Yeah.
Countdown to the traditional cup final, and then countdown to the Super Eagles game also. So.
Wow. Yeah. So a lot happened. Onye, good to have you as well. Onye Wichwajuku is also with us. Onye is news editor of Sporting Life, one of our best selling sports dailies in Nigeria. Is also on the show. Onye, it's a very eventful weekend. Every weekend now, there's something good to look forward to in terms of Super Eagles players. Yeah, it was Musa with his second goal, Kyle Larewaju also on target,
Brownie
Deye on target, Aminu Umar on target. Every weekend now.
Even in North Africa, Junior Ajayi
was also on target.
Scored his first goal for El
Ali. Yeah.
I think the highlight was Ahmed Musa. His manager Claudio Ranieri described that goal as a suicidal goal, because he threw in everything,
threw his body into it
to get that goal.
Could have been injured.
He got a
bruised nose
and lips.
I saw his lips. His lips were like double in size.
When we watch these players every weekend, we just pray that they get this form for the national team.
Victor Moses again.
Yes, Victor Moses
playing the game of his life for Chelsea.
He almost got injured while trying to defend with his life for Chelsea against Southampton.
Wow.
And had to go and have a word with the referee. Obviously telling the referee that protect me a bit. This is a new role. This is a new role for me. But it's good. Brownie Day also scoring. Not only scoring, he scored the winning goal. The game ended 1-0, and his goal was the winning goal.
I think he's the top scorer now in the Greek league.
Yeah. And you mentioned Kyle Larewaju. I think
he's scoring.
The handlers
every week.
Apart from scoring, that guy is a beast.
His work rate is amazing.
His work rate is amazing. He gives everything.
I'm sure that is one for the future.
And he can bring competition to the team. So on a sad note, Kali Keme, we hope his injury, the hip injury he suffered, is not too severe. That will be available for the match against Algeria.
All right. So that's comforting for us. I think every Monday we should now create that kind of segment where we'll take a look at these players, because there is a lot that happens around our players, a lot of positive things that we can reflect upon every Monday from what they've done for their clubs over the weekend. So that's a good one. The challenge for all of us is to make sure that we keep these players on their toes and make sure they are able to do the same for the country. The same form that we see in their clubs, they must be able to do the same for the country. That's the challenge. The challenge that we have to give these players, and the responsibilities for everybody to make sure that we are able to do that. If they are able to do that, bring that form to the national team, we will be truly unstoppable. Because it's just heartwarming when you see what Nigerian players what they are doing for their clubs. Guys, let's start off the show tonight by talking about feedback, because we'll spend a lot of time to reflect not just on football, on other sports, table tennis particularly, and of course we will also touch up on tennis on the show tonight. So let's talk about feedback, how you can be a part of the show. We want you to talk to us. For those of you who have been watching us for a long time, the feedback platforms, you're already familiar with them, as you can see on your screen. But if you are watching for the first time, please take advantage of what you have on your screen and take a good look at what you have on the screen, the addresses, so that you don't make spelling mistakes so that you can connect with us on the program tonight on Facebook, on Twitter. Those handles are going to be very active, they're going to be very interactive, and we want you to take advantage of all of this to talk to us on the program tonight. All right, so please get ready to engage with us and use those platforms. Let's also tell you that you can get us and watch us on our website, www.channelstv.com, as well as on youtube.com/channelsweb. If you want to view us on your iPad, your iPhone, your BlackBerry, you want to connect to your home for the news, it's as simple as ABC. Just click on m.channelstv.com. And that will be it. And if you download the Channels app for Android, iOS, Windows from their respective stores, you've done the ultimate. You have Channels at your fingertips 24/7. You are able to track every single thing that goes on Channels TV, and we would like to appreciate you for it. So once you have done that, and you send your posts, your tweets, your comments to us for feedback, tell us where those posts, tweets, comments are coming from, so that we can appreciate you a lot more on the program. All right, so that's the way it rolls for feedback. Please, let's make this as engaging as possible. Let's also tell you that as we speak, there's a game going on in the English Premier League tonight. Stoke and Swansea are going for it tonight, and we will try to update you with the results of that game before the end of the show. All right, so that's for feedback. But let's start off. Let's take it to Morocco. Morocco is our start point today, and table tennis is what we're talking about, is what we have under focus. The African Senior Table Tennis Championship ended. It wasn't all gloom for Nigeria. We had a lot of positives to reflect upon. It wasn't, well, it was not bad. It could have been better for us. We had a lot of good things to talk about. And one of the highlights for us, positively, is the story of Funke Oshonaike. Remember, Funke Oshonaike started this tournament lamenting that no funds, the women players were not there, no money, but she left that championship a winner. For the first time in over 24 years, she is Africa's #1 again. And she did it at the age of 41. Unbelievable. This young Egyptian, Dina Meshev, has been dealing with Funke Oshonaike for a long time. But this time around, Funke said, enough. I must get one over you. So congratulations, Funke Oshonaike. That's one of the high points for Nigeria. Aruna Quadri, Segun Toriola also made it worth our while. They won the men's doubles title. All right, beating Egyptians again in the final. Segun Toriola, Funke Oshonaike finished in second place in the mixed doubles event. Of course, losing to Egyptians in that one. And then you had Aruna Quadri finishing in second place. That was a very, very painful game. He lost narrowly to Omar Assar. He finished in second place in the men's singles event. And Aruna Quadri, Segun Toriola, Bode Abiodun also finished in second place in the men's team event behind Egypt. Of course, the only losers were the women. They didn't show up, and so there was nothing for our women to celebrate. And if they had shown up, they would have picked a ticket to the World Championship. It would have been as easy as that for our women. But they didn't show up, no money. The only woman who showed up left with the African title. All right, some reward for sacrifice, you may say. All right, so that's it for that. But Funke Oshonaike was coached by Segun Toriola. Interesting. And that's exactly what we've been saying. Yes. Let's see what he had to say in a reaction to a victory over Dina Meshev in the women's singles final. She had a lot to say about the role that Segun Toriola played in helping her to win that final game. And we want to put it out for you on the screen so that you can read that and also see what Funke was able to come up with after winning the title. All right, while we wait for that to come on your screen, I hope it's able to come. Okay, that's it. She said, I knew it was going to be tough because being the African champion, she had been unbeaten in the last 2 years. You can imagine. I just told myself to go out there and have fun and show my experience. And she goes on, let's flip. And when it started working, I gained more confidence. And when the match was 2-2, my coach, Segun Toriola, told me not to give up, and I kept on going, and it worked for me at last. Segun Toriola, coach player, inspiring Team Nigeria, inspiring Funke Oshonaike. All right, so that's a good one. I'm very happy for Funke because she's been coming so close so many times, and it eventually came good for her. Started with complaints, but ending with a medal, a winner's medal around her neck.
Yeah, I think she's a top quality professional, Tony. In spite of you know, the lack of incentives, lack of support. Anytime the game is started, she picked herself up, you know, and gave her best. That's the hallmark of a true professional. Yes, you will complain if things are not going properly, but when the game starts, you have to give everything. You know, that is your life, that's your career. And Funke Oshonaike has shown at the age of 41, Tony, and she's in a
we mustn't take that
top physical shape.
Yeah, that's amazing, really.
Top physical
for
shape.
A woman at the age of 41, still play and top become African champion. Yeah.
I've seen some of our contemporaries, especially the one based there. They have added a lot of flesh, and I think it's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, maintaining that figure. You know, because when you are fit, your movement is sharper, faster on the ball,
41
and on the table. So I think we have to commend them for what they have achieved. You know, and I think Toriola has inspired the Oshonaike, Toriola, and Quadri. I read stories about the younger players from this country that participated in that tournament. You know, how they have been inspired by this trial, and you know the kind of preparation they put into it. I read the other younger player saying he had to watch a certain player 3 or 4 times, watch how he plays. It shows that we are beginning to, you know, get to that level, and with, you know, proper structure and support, these players can, all of them can begin to rule the African continent.
The IWTF Africa honored honored Aruna Quadri for being the first African player ever to make it to the quarterfinals of the Olympic Games. That was also an high point, one of the high points for Nigeria. At the event in Morocco. Aruna Quadri, these guys have done so much. Before then, they honored Toriola as well for 7 consecutive Olympic Games. Funke Oshonaike is not too far behind. She's also been going to the Olympic Games over and over and over again for Nigeria. And so it is important for us to highlight what these people were able to achieve. Toby, we always say something about Funke Oshonaike here in Nigeria, that maybe we're not doing enough to produce new generation of talents who will retire her. Remember, we've had that argument a lot of times, that Funke Oshonaike has been there for a long time. Toriola, they've been there for a long time. Is it that the younger ones are not able to knock them off? Now, she's not just Nigerian champion, she is African champion. And the lady that she beat used to be her mom, used to be Oshonaike's contemporary.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing. At 41, to rule Africa is amazing, and is a great achievement for Funke. But I mean, there's no way we'll produce someone that will compete at the level of Funke if there's no structure here. I mean, we've highlighted how Funke, Aruna, and Toriola, has to do a lot of hard work, have to put a lot of things to make sure that they reach the Senate, to make sure they achieve, to make sure they put smiles on Nigerians. I mean, it's the only few Nigerians that have got big art like that, to go all the way to make sure they delivered in a way where you are not being appreciated, where there's no structure. I mean, for us to produce great table tennis player like this, we need to create the structure. I mean, Toriola have shown that they can be a good coach, but what are we preparing for them? What are they going to manage? It's going to be very key if the sport ministry look into this. Let's have a structure where these people can come back and develop young talent.
All right, we need to go on a quick break now, but I think the summary for us is that the sports ministry or the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation can begin to look at Segun Toriola becoming a coach-player role for him to be able to help develop table tennis in Nigeria. Let's pause for a quick break. When we return, we'll talk tennis, and then we have some other issues around football on Sports Tonight. Join us again.